They killed my friend.
Philandro Castillo's white shirt soaked in blood and in distress.
Little space, please. Ultimately, it's to bring awareness and make people, realize what's really going on in this country. There are a lot of things that are going on that are unjust. People aren't being held accountable for, and that's something that needs to change. That's something that, this country stands for freedom, liberty, justice for all, and it's not happening for all right now.
This podcast with myself, Colin, and Ryan, who's currently on leave, discusses the issues revolving around police brutality.
So Tucci and I are back. Say hi, Tucci.
Hi.
So that's basically Kaepernick's take on what's going on in our country right now involving police brutality and racism. And I feel like he has the most important role in our society and has like the biggest voice and the loudest voice because he's willing to say something, he's willing to step up, and he's willing to ruin his reputation and his job, basically. Because he's a young man, he's a successful young man that was making a lot of money and had a lot of fame. And he realized that there's a huge problem happening in this country. And he was willing to sacrifice everything that was going good for him. And now he has this bad reputation that he doesn't deserve. But, people like that have the respect from everyone, I feel like. Right, Tucci?
Yeah. And I think that he was just getting so sick of watching, so many innocent black people get killed and, they...
charged for nothing. We watch all of these, videos of, people getting pulled over for, a speeding or, a broken taillight, and it escalates into a problem where they're shot 4 times, like we listened to in the beginning of our podcast.
Yeah. And I think when people just, idly, sit by and, watch the problem, then, I just feel like it becomes, an epidemic. It just grows and grows and grows, and I think it's hard for...
Yeah, and it's happening for way too long. Problems like this, when we're dealing with racism and, police brutality, the police are supposed to protect us. They are protecting the law and they're protecting the people. And
But now you have black people that don't even want to go to the police when they have a problem because of situations like this. And they're afraid that, if I ask a police officer for help, then it's just going to escalate to me getting shot and killed for no reason.
Exactly. It's just a confusing situation. And it's also, a mental part with a lot of people because they're somewhat scared of the police. And that's something that is just horribly wrong.
And we're not saying that, all police are bad.
Yeah, no, it's just in these, small communities. And unfortunately, when situations like this happen, like in Ferguson and Minnesota, they're such sad stories and they have to escalate to this huge problem where everyone has to be blamed for. And I'm gonna personally acknowledge the fact that I respect the police and I respect what they do. They have a very hard job and they are, they do a ton for our country.
I just think they get a bad rap and
because of one or two people here, but that's still a huge problem because that should never happen. And now it's a society thing now because the black community is realizing because of this person getting shot and being killed now this is a huge problem now,
which then ties into Black Lives Matter and they
exactly.
feel the need to go and put in people's face that black people do matter not and they're not even saying that I think people get confused when they hear Black Lives Matter or they're just talking about black people. I think that Black Lives Matter is it's an organization basically fighting against innocent black people that are getting shot and killed.
Exactly.
And you know what I mean? I just feel it's hard for other people to see that that these people are fighting for black people.
I think that community they want the respect from everyone.
Yeah.
In the entire country. I think our country right now, we have so many spots and so many areas where we don't act as one. We kind of act as multiple kinds of groups. Mm-hmm. Our country thrived off the idea that we're one and we act as one back in the 1800s.
What Kaepernick was saying that he was said that our country's so-called stand for freedom, liberty, and justice for all, but it's not happening. It's only happening for a certain percentage.
We've lost all of our patriotic ideas, and we've lost all of our moral ethics. That's what makes a country great. And it's kind of, when you have a leader like Donald Trump who isn't making this situation worse. So I personally feel like we need just more people like Kaepernick to step up. We need more people. We need more reformers. People like the Martin Luther Kings, the people like the Frederick Douglasses. They're willing to step up. They're willing to sacrifice, and they're willing to ruin their reputation for something that's right and create change in our society. During Barack Obama's presidency, there was a large amount of mass shootings involving police officers, and this is what he had to say.
And that hurts. And that should trouble all of us. This is not just a black issue. It's not just a Hispanic issue. This is an American issue that we should all care about. All fair-minded people should be concerned.
After listening to Obama, here's what Trump has to say.
Like when you guys put somebody in the car and you're protecting their head, the way you put their hand over. Like, don't hit their head, and they've just killed somebody, don't hit their head. I said, you can take the hand away, okay?
All right, so we're back. Tucci, say hi.
Hey.
All right, so basically you guys heard two very different perspectives here. So on Donald Trump's side, I feel like he gave the people a sense of not caring at all about the situation happening. He kind of applauded the police department for their job and kind of joking around as well, which I feel like is
very
just
inappropriate,
very unprofessional on his side. I mean, he's the president. He's supposed to bring people together, and he's just kind of siding off this situation. And then you have Barack Obama, who, he's a wonderful public speaker who made everyone seem like he knew everything that was going on, and he made everyone feel better about the situation.
In reality, he didn't really do anything. He talked a big game, but he didn't really, help the people in any way.
Exactly.
We could all sit here and say a bunch of words that make people think that we care, but and that's exactly what he did, and which then led to a lot of backlash from him,
from mostly the black community,
yeah,
because they expect him to comfort
black,
them and actually do something for them, especially since he's black. So they feel like
they got disappointed.
Exactly, because he really didn't take advantage of the executive orders, and he just didn't. He also gave the sense of everyone that he didn't really care that much. So both of them, I feel like, I don't know about you, Tucci, but they're the reason to why that this is such a long,
drawn out issue.
Exactly, and it really shouldn't. I mean, it's a problem that keeps escalating and escalating and escalating. So,
Ellen DeGeneres talks about police brutality and racism on her show.
There have been so many African American men who have been shot by police, and nothing seems to change.
Yeah.
I can hardly talk about it without getting emotional. I'm furious. As a white person, I'm ashamed. I see what's going on, and I think, how is this possible that this keeps happening and nothing, there's just blatant racism, and it hurts me. It really hurts me. Yeah. I mean, there was just recently a 14-year-old boy was lost and went to knock on a door to look for, just to ask for directions. He was lost, and they shot at him. He's okay, but they shot at him just because he was a young African-American boy knocking on their door.
Ellen DeGeneres is one of the many advocates for police brutality, and
I feel like her voice in our society right now is really important, because a lot of people look up to her, and she's like an inspiration to a lot of people. So when she's expressing that racism is straight up horrible right now in our country, it's an alarming it's alarming to a lot of people that
it's such a prominent
from a person like her, because her personality, she's always happy, she's always this and that,
and she was saying that she was disgusted,
she was getting even a little emotional just hearing about stories like that,
and as a white person, I think she was very trying to apologize almost, and saying not all white people are racist, and you know what I mean,
her message kind of sent a powerful tone to the white community as well, because when you see a person like that get a little emotional and say those things
and bring it up, especially on our show, because it's so
on our
political.
show, exactly. And she's not that, she's the exact opposite of.
I feel like she also tries to steer away from like the political stuff. I feel like she just tries to like bring in like what good things people like do for like our community and like our society.
Yeah, no, and going back to the Kaepernick thing and her, I think our country just needs more people like that. Reformers who are willing to just talk up and say and just talk about the issue, acknowledge the issue, and try to create change in our society.
Kusa and I feel very strongly that sparking conversation can
create change.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys can wake up to this issue, because Tucci and I feel like not a lot of people are talking about this, and this is why we decided to pick this topic for our podcast. So hopefully you guys learned something, and we can move on as a country and be better. So thank you guys, Mr. Coyne.
We love you.
We love you, and you are the beast.